Good morning, Year Ones. I hope you're all having fun learning at home. We're missing you so much here, and as you can see, it's really quiet without you. This morning we're reading our book called When Henry Caught Imaginitis. It's written by Nick Bland. Henry was a very serious boy. His room was always tidy, and he always buttoned his shirt right to the top. He's got a comb in his pocket there, and there's a little blue butterfly above him. He looks very serious. Look at his hair, it's nice and neat. Henry never daydreamed or played with toys. He preferred doing sums and straightening things that were wonky. Have a look here. He's got some wonky flowers, so he's trying to hold them up straight using a pencil. Until one day, Henry had a thought that didn't make any sense at all. What's that look like? That looks like a bird, but there's a real feather and it's green and it's popping out of that shadow. He's getting ready for a bath with his shower cap on. Notice the pictures are all black and white too, apart from this little pop of colour. And before he could unthink it, Henry and his silly thought were sailing the seven seas. Henry was very confused. Have a look at what's happening in this picture. It starts out black and white, but then there's more colour being introduced. And the toilet paper is going along with him. The tiles look like they're falling off the walls and becoming the clouds and the sea. He's using the bathtub as a ship. And there's a green and yellow parrot on his shoulder. Very strange. At supper, another silly thought jumped right out of Henry's head, so he slid under the table and wrestled with it. I wonder what it could be. He's still in black and white, his button tied, his shirt buttoned right to the top. He's counting his peas. They're all nicely lined up. This looks like it might be a red dragon. Oh, his dinner's gone flying. He's knocked his chair over and he's wrestling with this thought that's jumping straight out of Henry's head. Henry's silly thoughts were getting bigger and bigger. He decided to read a book to make them go away once and for all. On the shelf, he found the big book of sensible things. Perfect, he thought. Look at him looking over his book because he's still seeing some confusing objects, and this one's coming straight out of a picture. The book was full of sensible ideas, like walking forwards is safer than walking backwards. Never eat anything bigger than your head, and don't fly a rocket unless you're an astronaut. Those are some sensible thoughts. And look, this creature is still behind him. Henry was feeling much better. He hadn't had a silly thought for ages. He went to the kitchen and he had a snack. He cleaned up the mess. I wonder what's going to happen now. He's got a watermelon in his bowl, and it looks like he's eating the contents of the watermelon. Now he's got it here, and he's cut a shape out of it, and there's some fork sticking out of it. I wonder what he's going to try and use it for. And took the rubbish out. What's happened? He's used the trash can, and he's put the watermelon on his head. They look like little antennas. So he's imagining that he's in outer space. Henry knew something was terribly wrong with him, so he looked in the big book of sensible things for an answer. But look, the butterflies are coming out of the book. Henry doesn't look so neat and tidy anymore. He looks stressed, doesn't he? His hair's sticking up. The book said, if your head is full of silly thoughts, you've caught Imaginitis. Oh dear, thought Henry. The animals are watching with him. The red dragon's peering over his shoulder, and the butterflies and this creature. You can see a shooting star outside. The big book of sensible things said there was only one cure. Henry would have to grow up, and that could take a very long time. Looks like he might be doing some sums here, adding up what it all means. And there's the butterfly. Henry knew just what to do while he waited. I wonder what he's doing. He's grabbed the cushions off the lounge. He's got the fish tank on top of him. The parrot's holding a mop. Even the dragon's carrying the chair. And the little butterflies are holding a sheet with the bathtub and the garbage bin. He built a wonky castle fit for an imaginary king, but just until I grow up, he said. So look at all this stuff that he's made. It's not like the Henry at the beginning of the book, is it? And that, Henry thought, was a very sensible idea. Notice how now it's all colourful. All the black and white has gone out of the picture. And the butterfly is on his nose. Thanks for listening to the story, Year 1. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time at home and keep learning.